Hey Dungeoneers, Luke here, and welcome to The Grind. Now today guys, we're going to be doing some Bashims Base grinding, and we're going to be playing on my Berserker. Now the Berserker, guys, I feel like is a class that really doesn't get enough love in this game. He's kind of weird. You know, he's the only character that's like not a human because he's a giant. He's really tall. And he starts off as like a heavy melee class and then quickly changes into like a half ranged, half melee kind of hybrid. It's really weird, but I feel like he is an extremely fun class, probably the most fun class in the game, and I don't think he really gets enough love, so this is that video. Now as for my gear today, guys, it is currently 140 over 232. I'm rocking the full ultimate Grunel. My shoes, unfortunately, are still only plus 15. The rest are duo. A full set of Asula accessories, and 3 pieces of duo gear. I only have a Kriya axe here because unfortunately I haven't been able to find anything better on the marketplace that's really worth replacing it with. I'm still waiting to get something better, but as for right now, that's all I got. I got the green awakening weapon. The green one is better for grinding than the blue one. The blue one is a little bit better for PvP, but I'm just going to use the green one for now. It's a lot cheaper. If you can't afford the blue one, go ahead and grab it. And then, of course, I have the ultimate Say or Not because accuracy is super busted, and it's by far the best it's the best ornamental knot to have for a Berserker before you get boss armor. So we're going to be grinding Bashims Base today, guys. Now, Bashims Base, it really isn't the best spot to grind if you're looking to get money. It's actually fairly bad, but what Bashims Base is really good for is for getting experience. There is loads and loads of mobs here, and they give massive amounts of experience, and they're fairly squishy, so a lot of people will come here to get their XP. It's usually got up till about level 57, sometimes even 58, depending on how hard you're going. And if you're going to be coming here for XP, do not forget there are also Marnie Stones here, so you'll get even more experience. If you guys don't know what Marnie Stones are, once I kill this pack here, I'll show them off to you. Marnie Stones are essentially an item you can get starting at level 57. They're these right here. And you keep them in your inventory, and every time you kill a mob, it saves what they call their soul. It saves their soul inside the stone. And once you hit a certain threshold, whether 250 or 500, you can basically consume the Marnie Stone to get a massive amount of bonus experience, which will really help you level up even faster. Now, before the Marnie Stones came out, Bashims was still considered one of the best places in the game to get experience. And with that coming out, it is even better. Now, once you get past that like 57, 58 area, I feel like Silv and Valencia definitely becomes better. But as for right now, I'm still doing it. And I feel like Berserker is really good here, guys. Berserker is just a great grinding class in general. And at Bashims Base, he kind of has one of the best things he wants. All the packs are fairly close together. And then he has a couple big packs that are more spread out. And you are really good at dealing with packs that are all spread out. Like if I were to go over and aggro these guys here, and aggro these guys here, we have this move which is S and right mouse button, and it has this big old vacuum effect that brings the monsters in, and you can just go ahead and wail on them. Now if that move hadn't actually killed them, using ground lifting as well, which is your spacebar ability, you also have things like Slugfest, which is that one there, a big old cone DPS ability which is on a fairly low cooldown. You can really spam that ability in order to get off all the damage that you need. But Berserker just has so many cool ways to grind, guys. He's, like I said, he's half ranged, he's half melee. His range isn't that good. Like the damage isn't very good on his ranged weapon because it used to be completely broken. You could pretty much farm faster than a wizard at like low HP mob areas with the Berserker until they nerf the Flame Buster, which is a little unfortunate, but you know, I feel like if you get your AP high enough and you go to a lower HP area like maybe Bashims, Gahaz, or even, you know, Helm, something like that, you might still be able to get the speed grind off. But until they buff it back up, I wouldn't really recommend it for, you know, sort of areas like this. Now, a big concern that people have with the Berserker is because you're big and a big old lug here, people think you don't have a lot of mobility, but you actually have all sorts of different ones here. You have your shift space, which is your lava piercer. It does put you into your pre-awakened mode, which isn't a great thing, but you can just press spacebar right before it ends in order to jump right back on in. And you also have, you know, your sideways evasion, you have shake off. He has all sorts of great abilities for mobility, and once you get your stamina high enough, you can really chain them all together and become extremely quick. A lot of people underestimate just how fast the Berserker is, but once you have that stamina up, he is actually insanely good. His animation cancels can pretty much make you one of the faster classes in the game. Now, Lava Piercer is by far your best ability that you have in terms of mobility. But you have to be really careful because it does use up your WP or rage or whatever you really want to call it. And if you're going to be eating that up, you might not have enough for ground lifting when you're done. And if you don't have enough for ground lifting, you're not going to be able to turn back into your awakening stance. So you're going to have to kind of keep your eye on it a little bit. There are methods to switch back. You can use Lava Piercer into your C, which will automatically switch you back. But you really want to try and make sure you have enough for ground lifting because that's going to get you all sorts of great stuff. Both ground lifting and your shake off have big attack speed buffs on them, as well as your basic attack. If I basic attack this guy 2 times, you'll just see how fast the attack speed goes up. If I were to check the skills, I think it's actually 15%. It maybe even scales up to 20% from landing 2 basic attacks, and then hitting someone with shake off will do more, and ground lifting has a skill add-on for attack speed, so you can really get grinding quickly. Now, when you're playing Berserker, you absolutely need attack speed. It is the most important thing. If you check here, I have 5 attack speed right now, and the reason that attack speed is so good on Berserker, besides the fact that, you know, it's good on everybody pretty much, is that the abilities that you have in your skills here that give you attack speed, such as shake off and your basic attack, if you see there, it is a 15% increased attack speed. And the fact that it's a percent means it actually goes past that level 5 attack speed cap. So if it were to say, you know, +1 attack speed, like you sometimes get on, you know, crystals in your gear, like this here, I get +2 attack speed. Those will not break the 5 AP cap, but percentage increases will. So you will actually be able to go past the attack speed cap and really start grinding hard. This is a great area here to break out Devastation. That vacuum ability is so good, so strong. And the Bashims pretty much just melt. Fun fact right about here, actually, if you try and jump off and elbow drop off, a lot of the time it will pull you back onto that ledge. I don't really know why, but it's kind of a weird thing that happens, so maybe keep your eye out for it. Now this rotation here, I don't ever see other people doing this rotation. It might just be the fact that, you know, I'm never really contested while I'm here. I never really see other people. But I've never seen anyone do this actual rotation that I'm doing, where you kind of go up this cliff and back down again. I feel like it's not the main Bashims rotation, though, because I know a lot of people who do Bashims farming, they don't do this route. They do a lot of other routes, but this is the one I've been doing for a while. It's fairly good. It has loads and loads of mobs in it. Lots of good packs that you can really just sort of use all your abilities on. And the drops aren't really great. If you guys are seeing here, like, they're worth like 98,000 each. Your turn-in items, or your selling items anyway, they're only worth about 1,100 each. You can get scrolls here, the scrolls written in an ancient language, which are worth about 2 mil each. But, you know, you don't really get a lot of them. Like, Bashims is not a place you come for money. It's a place you come for experience, and I guess maybe to practice your combos and your mobility stuff, because the packs are fairly small in terms of how many abilities you're going to need to get in between them. It's not quite like Gahaz, where there's a lot of mobs spread out. It is a little bit closer, so you can kind of practice your mobility here a little bit, but it's not too punishing. But yeah, Bashims, you should really come here for experience, guys. The mobs are fairly weak, too. That's the other thing I like about it. Like, as you can see, I mean, I'm just tearing through these guys here, but I was tearing through them with way less gear than I have now. You can pretty much come here with about, I think I'm at, like, what, 150 or so right now? I'm at about 140 right now. You could probably come here with 120, depending on your class, and probably grind fairly well. They're pretty squishy. There's a lot of them. There's only one elite in this rotation, at least, that I'm doing. I know there are other elites around Bashims, at least, you know, other places, but I don't really know any of the other rotations. I kind of just did this one on my first time here, and I've been using it ever since for whenever I need XP, and I'm just kind of looking to chill out, you know. I mean, you can grind in the desert, but it's a little bit more stressful, and, you know, there's a lot more people around, a lot more contention, whereas Bashims, not so much. It's kind of easy. Now, as for the Berserker's moves, guys, he has a couple different things I'm using here to grind with. The main one, of course, here is Devastation. Like I said before, that is your backwards right mouse button. It's on a fairly long cooldown, though, so you're pretty much going to want to save that for the big packs that are sort of spread out, because it is a really strong vacuum effect. The main skill I'm using to grind here is, I'll show you on these guys over here, the shift left mouse button, guys. That is your slugfest. That is that rapid fire punches with space in the middle of it for ground lifting. You want to use that before the last hit. I don't know if Slugfest is glitched right now or something like that, but it really seems to me like when I use it, the last hit doesn't actually hit. I'll see if I can get it going off on these guys here. Okay, if you watch that last little hit there, that little explosion where you spread your arms out, as far as I can tell, it doesn't actually do damage. I think it might just be a bug, or it's just the end of the animation. I don't really know. So I tend to wait right before that goes off. I use my ground lifting, which is spacebar. And ground lifting gives a lot of stuff here, guys. It actually does a fairly decent amount of damage, but it gives you 25 WP back on every good hit. It gives stiffness and floating to the monsters you hit with. And then I have a skill add-on where it has attack against monsters plus 20 for 8 seconds. So pretty much I have a permanent plus 20 attack as long as I use it once every 8 seconds. But seeing as how it's really not on that big of a cooldown, you can pretty much keep that up permanently. And then, of course, I got that dank attack speed boost. You really, really need that attack speed. So yeah, every time I'm doing a combo or whenever I'm done an ability, I always just finish it with ground lifting because it's super key to have it on. Now, the keen-eyed of you may have noticed that there is 2 different ground liftings. There's this one here where you sort of jump forwards and it does a load of damage. That is the one that applies the skill add-on. It's on a 9-second cooldown, but you can keep on pressing space essentially and always use ground lifting as long as you have the WP. You just won't get a couple of the abilities. You won't get the skill add-on. And I believe it does like 7 times increased damage if it's off cooldown. Like you see here, like it just shreds them pretty much. But if I do it again, it won't do that much damage. But those are your main like big AoE skills are Devastation, Slugfest, and Ground Lifting. And then when I'm cleaning off packs here, guys, I am not using my basic attack. Unless I'm trying to get a little bit of attack speed. I am using backwards basic attack, which is called Blasting. It's a big sort of AoE auto attack. And it's really strong, guys. Blasting is insanely strong. It's not really on a cooldown. It's just sort of like an extremely powerful basic attack that actually consumes WP, but it generates it as well, so you don't really run out too badly. So my usual thing is, running with Lava Piercer, ground lifting, and then just blasting, just like that. And then for the next pack, I'll do all sorts of different abilities. And, he has some great grinding abilities, and they're all on fairly low cooldown. I really like grinding with the Berserker. Now, as for your 100% Black Spirit ability, it is actually a pair off of your forwards F, which is like a rocket jump, and it kind of makes it do this enormous rocket jump with Flame Trail, and it's really, really cool. But I really feel like it doesn't do that much. It does fairly decent damage, and it can kind of end packs, but like the AoE is so big that it really breaks the cap on what you can do, because a lot of abilities in this game can only hit up to 8 monsters at one time, and that ability pretty much means that you're going to hit the first 8 right as soon as you use it, and the rest of the damage is kind of wasted. Whereas if you press Z, the buff that you get from your Black Spirit buff is insane. It gives more % attack damage. It gives more damage in general. It's just really, really strong. So I feel like it's really not worth using. I mean, I've actually used it by accident before and been a little upset because the Z buff is extremely good for the Berserker, and you can keep your buffs up nearly permanently, sometimes completely permanently, depending on how good you are. Because you have this one here, which is your Q buff. You can see it gives all sorts of stuff. DP, movement speed, Titan Syndrome, knockback resistance, all sorts of great stuff, and attack speed. As you can see, I'm a lot faster now that it's up. But the thing is, the cooldown on it's 3 minutes, and it only lasts 1 minute. But in between that, you can pretty much just get your Black Spirit buff back up, use that one, and then when the Black Spirit wears off, you'll have your Q buff again. So you'll pretty much just always be buffed up. Super, super strong, super fast, absolute grind machine. But that's pretty much it, guys. This is the rotation I've just been doing for Bashims. I've just been running around the circle here. Like I said, if you get contested, it's probably one of the better rotations out there because nobody ever comes to it. There are a lot of other rotations. Like down there, for example, there's like right near where the horses are, there is a massive pack of Bashims, and I'm sure there's plenty of rotations that factor it in, but this has just kind of been the one that I've been doing and having a lot of fun doing it. But so this is pretty much all I've been doing. So as you can see, guys, we are currently level 57, and we are going to be heading towards level 58. I'm probably going to grind Bashims and Gahaz Bandits until level 58. Once you get 58, the Berserker spikes up in damage yet again. Just when you thought that he didn't have enough damage for monsters, he ends up getting buffed up again. He has a couple skills over here you get at 58. Mainly... Oh, stop elbow dropping me! Oh, I got the elbow drop, boys. How about I hit you with a German suplex? Oh god, or he can just punch me in the face again. You know what? I'm going to give you the Z buff. The Z buff treatment. Boom. But as I said, guys, you can see really how strong that Z buff is. It just makes you so strong. You do so much damage. You just grind like an absolute machine. 4% attack speed. Black Spirit's Rage gives a plus AP 30 for a full minute, boys. And double your attack speed. So it's really, really a lot better than using the actual, this move here. Now that's it without the Black Spirit ability. It's basically the same move with less damage, but use your Z buffs, guys. Grind, 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 grind. Try and get to 58. And I'll see you guys when we're 58. So this has been Bashims Base. Berserker is really, really good here. Hopefully you guys are able to grind it just as well as I can. And thank you all for watching. I'm just going to finish this last pack here. Maybe I'll even try using the old broken speed grind that doesn't work anymore. This is what you used to be able to do. This was the Berserker's glory days, where this did like triple the damage that it's doing now, and you could just speed grind the whole way across, but not anymore. Rest in peace, Berserker. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Woo!